Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast on the Thursday night football episode. As you can tell, this is your boy Dynell, and I'm going to be basically covering for Jared today. Jared did his thing and covered for me last week as I traveled, so it's only right that I cover for him today. Unfortunately, he's working at FedEx. It's like 7:30, 7 o'clock. Like it's like 7 o'clock right now, and this man's still working. It's this time of year. It hits peak season. It's the holiday season, and just like you and you little fuckers need your gifts. So hey, Jared's gonna bring them to you guys. So shout out to Jared during this holiday season. So expect some up down appearances. I mean, we expect him to be here every episode, of course, but things happen during the holiday season, especially being a delivery driver. So expect some maybe hiccups coming down the road. But that's neither here nor there, man. Let's go ahead and let's actually recap the Shred the Spread podcast picks last week. As you guys already know, every week me and Jared participate in a 5-pick contest where we basically give our 5 best picks and what we believe is the 5 best picks for the week. The contest lines are somewhat different than the actual regular lines throughout the week. They lock in, I believe, on Tuesday or Wednesday night. Don't quote me on that. But it closes around those lines, and we came up 4-1 this week. We finally broke that 2-3 curse last week, going 3-2. Then we just went up ourselves again at 4-1. That puts us above 500. 500 in the contest. Thank the Lord. I was losing our goddamn mind. Bad beat after bad beat, 2-3 curse, but we finally broke it in back-to-back weeks, got us back on track. Let's go ahead and talk about it. The Giants were the only team that kind of let us down last week. But then again, hey, this is the Giants. They're trying to get the best pick possible. They absolutely tried to lose this game. They did make a comeback. And the biggest thing with me and Jared was kind of angling on was the fact that Drew Lock was playing quarterback. And to be honest with you, I believe he was a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. And I believe Jared felt that way as well. We put confidence into that. Brian Daboll's pushed for his job. Unfortunately, they came up short. It took a last Herculean effort for them to keep it close. They couldn't get the job done, and the Cowboys kind of sealed it. Cooper Rush played a decent game. Rico Dowdle touched 100 yards rushing for the first time in his career this past week, which is actually crazy to think about. But he finally broke 100, and by far his best game. And it just resulted in a Cowboys win. Cowboys are still in contention at 5-7. They would not go nowhere. But it's good to see them that they're actually still competing. The Giants fall down. They lost this week, and yet they lost their position in the draft. I think they went down like 1 or 2 draft spots this past week, even after losing. So that's a loss there for them. Let's talk about the winners. The Packers definitely handled the Dolphins. They controlled the whole entire game. It was in Lambeau. It was cold. We kind of already know what the recipe was setting up for there. Tua didn't have a bad game. 365 passing yards, I believe is what it was. Had a pretty decent passing game, but the Dolphins weren't in this game at any point at the end of the day, too. So you can call those garbage yards. Running game was a non-factor, but like we always say, you mix cold with speed, doesn't translate well. The next team that kind of covered is the Raiders. The Raiders fell under the Patrick Mahomes spell, which seems to be the theme for this year because teams can't seem to close games against the Chiefs. The Broncos couldn't execute a game-winning field goal because the Chiefs blocked it, of course. And now the Raiders, who down 2, going in like they're in field goal position, and they just can't seem to get right. The center snaps the ball, hits off Aiden O'Connell, and of course the rest is history. They recovered it and they took over the game. But Daniel Carlson missing 3 field goals. Very uncharacteristic of Daniel Carlson. He's cost a lot of people his bets. He cost my brother his bet this week. He had 2 field goals. So out of 4 field goal opportunities, he only made 1 and missed 3. So that was kind of disappointing there. But hey, it's the Raiders. Tough luck, tough season. That's how it goes. The Buffalo Bills demolished the 49ers inside the snow. But let's be real. Once we found out it was going to snow in Buffalo, did we really think there was going to be a different result? I mean, the Bills absolutely handled business. James Cook, I believe, had 2 touchdown rushes. I mean, a pretty moderate game as far as rushing yards, but he did receive some receiving yards in that matchup. I think he went over 100 yards. I'm going to have to fact check that myself. But at the end of the day, total overall good game. The running game got going. Josh Allen got going. He was able to score a touchdown there, and the Bills they basically handled business. I don't need to hit the hammer and the nail here. It's already been kind of nailed into the coffin there. The Bills kind of handled their business. The Chargers beat the Falcons, and this was a big one. Me and Jared kind of was kind of thinking about, man, are they going to be able to do it? And absolutely right. the Chargers defense, for some reason, continues to play very well. Let me not say for some reason, because they've been playing well all year. It was a complete weakness last year under Brandon Staley. We don't like that guy. Fuck that guy. It's Staley. And to be honest with you, it really shows in what difference coaching can make for this team. And Jim Harbaugh, I give him credit, man. I didn't really think this Chargers team was really damn good, honestly. But for them to be a playoff team right now and be 8-5, being 8-5, and really hanging in the division race still. I mean, they probably won't get there, probably won't catch up. But the fact that they're in the playoff race is honestly remarkable. I give him credit. The running game is back, which is the theme for every team, every great team this year. The running game is back. J.K. Dobbins got hurt and got banged up, and we were kind of worried about that. But Gus Edwards was able to handle the load, and that Chargers defense forced Kirk Cousins to throw 3 interceptions, who I believe time in Atlanta might be coming to a close if he can't really snap on it. It's a great bridge quarterback for Michael Penix, and I expect him to eventually take some snaps next year, just maybe not this year. And that kind of wraps it up. 4-1 of the week, one of our best weeks we had recently. And hey, man, continue. Hey, expect the train to keep going, guys. This is what we usually do. This is the regular type week for us, and trust me, we're gonna get you guys to the promised land. And let's redirect. Let's redirect to the Thursday night football game. This is what we all came here for, right? The props for the Thursday night game. And I'm going to start off with Jared's picks, the head honcho. Right now, he has Laporta receiving yards. Take the over on that. Green Bay contains the coverage on the outside and forces a lot of underneaths and in the middle, which, of course, plays right into Laporta's strong points. And basically, it's going to lead to him getting a lot of catches and a lot of yards. I like that kind of angle there. He also has Jordan Love interception along with Lions money line. Jordan Love has thrown an interception in every game in a dome this year, which is a good find. I didn't even know that my damn self. But he hasn't thrown one in 2 games. He hasn't thrown one in 2 games, which he's done really, really good of. And honestly, the Packers have been in our podcast picks the last 2 weeks. And no turnovers means wins for us. So thank you, the Packers, Jordan Love. But this may turn it around. He believes that that the Packers will potentially be trailing, and it's going to take a few shots down the field. Which, of course, that's when you start getting the Brett Favre side of Jordan Love. You know, you get your touchdowns, but you also get your picks. So I completely understand that angle there. And another one he also likes is Jared Goff, over 20.5 completions. He believes this is going to follow basically his defensive, his contained defense script. A lot of dink and dunks that we was talking about when it came to Laporta and his receiving yards. He had 18 completions with just 145 passing yards last time they matched up in Green Bay. Now he's back in the dome, which we all know Jared Goff loves the dome. Mo City Dan Campbell, they love the dome. So I like that angle there. Now, here's what I'm going to offer my insight on it. The only thing I'm probably going to challenge Jared on is that Lions money line. I feel like this is a sneaky spot for the Green Bay Packers here, especially with the Lions not having Taylor Decker, their left tackle, and they're going to miss 2 starting defensive linemen after already being injured in the linebacker positions, the corner positions. I mean, they just can't seem to catch a break. This defense has been phenomenal, though, and you got to give them credit for that. But there's only so much you can do after a while when it comes to these injuries. Josh Jacobs being active, to me, really kind of let me know, okay, I believe the Packers are going to go ahead and handle business. Now, I'm going to say this. Now, this won't be a contest play, of course, because it's a Thursday night football game, and the Packers probably would have gave us a shit line, 2.5. But I would put $10 right now that on the contest line would be at 2.5 instead of 3.5. So honestly, we wouldn't have probably looked at it anyway because we didn't get the number. But in all, I believe this is really a toss-up game. This is going to be one of those gritty division matchups. Green Bay is only 2 games behind the Lions here. Only 2 games behind the Lions. If they win this game, they'll force a tiebreaker, and on top of that, they will be only 1 game behind the Lions at that point. This is a lot at stake for the Green Bay Packers team, and I feel like a lot of people talk about the Lions as, oh, the clear number 1. They're going to be the number 1 seed regardless. There's no ifs and buts about it, and the only team that's challenging them is the Eagles. But whoa. There's also 2 other teams in that same division with a 10-2 record and a 9-3 record. And one of those teams is the Packers at 9-3. And this can really get interesting these last 4 games. So stay tuned, especially with that division race as a whole. But like we said, let me not go off track. I'm gonna basically tell you guys my picks next. I actually like anytime touchdown. I'm gonna take Jaden Reed, especially with Romeo Dobbs. I believe is out. I'm gonna monitor his situation, and of course, as time goes along, and if anything changes, I will post basically on the Twitter site if I change my mind. But honestly, I believe I was gonna roll. I was gonna roll with Jaden Reed anyway. I believe he's able to stretch the field and hit the medium routes. And like I said, and honestly, if they're trailing like Jared believes the script's going to go, it's going to give a lot of opportunities for Jaden Reed to get into that end zone. I also like Tucker Kraft over 3.5 receptions. He just seems to be a nice little safety blank for Jordan Love. I believe that's really kind of low. I believe his total should be at 4.5. 5 receptions is kind of where I kind of lay inside this game here, especially with the Lions' lack of pressure, and defensive injuries. The linebacker core is banged up, like I talked about before, with Rodriguez tearing his ACL. So especially look at Kraft receptions for me and Jaden Reed anytime touchdown. And of course, if you want to throw in a nice little parlay piece, of course, it's always good to throw in Josh Jacobs on the parlay. Especially running the ball. Like I said, the Lions, I get it. The Lions defense has been great against the run, and I understand that. But like I said, guys, there's only so much you can do when you have so many injuries. They're now actually lacking depth now on the D-line as well, which is a recipe for disaster. I really feel like this is a really nice surprise game for the Packers to win. So like I said, Packers. So I'll say this is my group. I got Packers money line, Jaden Reed anytime touchdown, Tucker Kraft over 3.5 receptions. And I actually do like the Laporta angle too when it comes to Jared. I think the tight end's going to have a decent day. So I'm going to actually double down on Laporta yards. So that kind of wraps it for the Thursday Night Football podcast tonight. And hopefully Jared will be back. No, let me say hopefully. Jared should be back here on Friday to kind of have our dynamic duo going on. Like I said, I miss the guy every time I do this. It makes me feel like I'm talking to myself here. But at the end of the day, thanks for you guys tuning in. This has been another Thursday Night Football special. And until next time, guys, peace.